All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something that affects pretty much all of us, every single day, but you can't see it. We're talking about a massive, invisible traffic jam that's happening in the air all around you right now.
Now, just so you know where this is all coming from, what we're covering today is part 4 of a 10-part series called Invisible Interference. It's a public awareness campaign from RFI detectives, and it's all based on research from Virtualization Options, LLC. The whole point of the series is to help everyday people, the general public, understand this problem, a problem that can be anything from a small, personal frustration to something that actually impacts public safety.
Just let that sink in for a moment. Billions of signals. These are the signals that carry our phone calls, that stream our favorite shows, that connect our smart devices. Our entire modern world is basically built on top of this giant, invisible network. And you know what? Most of the time, it feels like magic. But what happens when that magic fails?
Well, that's where this term comes in, radio frequency interference, or RFI for short. It's really just the technical name for that invisible traffic jam we mentioned. In the simplest terms, it's what happens when way too many wireless signals are all trying to talk at the same time in the same space. It's basically a huge electronic shouting match. To really get a handle on this, let's try to build a picture in our heads. Okay, so start by imagining every single wireless device you can think of. I'm not just talking about what's in your house, but in your entire neighborhood, everything.
Okay, you got that picture? Now imagine every single one of those devices is trying to shout its own message all at once. They're all competing to be heard over each other, just creating this massive wall of noise.
And here's the real kicker. They're all doing it on the exact same super crowded street corner. That noisy, chaotic corner, that's the radio spectrum. And all that chaos, well, that's the invisible traffic jam of RFI.
So what's causing all this racket? You might think it's some kind of specialized high-tech gear. But nope, it's the stuff we use every day. It's your phone fighting for a cell signal. It's your neighbor's Wi-Fi router, that baby monitor in the other room, even your garage door opener. They're all shouting in that traffic jam. So what's the end result of this giant shouting match? Well, just like in a really loud room, messages don't get through clearly. They might get lost in all the noise, or they get so garbled you can't understand them. Or worse, they get blocked completely and never even arrive. And the impact of this can be anything from just mildly frustrating to, well, genuinely dangerous. On the one hand, you've got the annoying stuff, right? A dropped call on your Wi-Fi, your movie buffering, again, or your smart light just refusing to turn on. But on the other side of that coin, the stakes get way higher. A security system that doesn't send an alert, an emergency call that gets blocked, or your GPS giving you faulty directions when you're totally lost. This all brings up a really important question, doesn't it? Is this whole problem just about our personal gadgets being a little glitchy, or is there something much, much bigger going on here?
Oh yeah, it's much bigger. We're not just talking about our personal tech. RFI can actually interfere with the huge critical systems that our society depends on. Think about modern vehicle safety systems that help prevent accidents, the communications that our police and firefighters use, the super precise navigation for aviation, the financial systems that keep our economy running, and even the stability of the power grid itself.
So here's the deal. We've got this huge gap. On one side, we are completely dependent on all this wireless tech. And on the other, most of us have no idea how fragile it can be. This public awareness gap isn't just some interesting fact. It's a real public policy problem. We've built our entire world on these invisible signals without really stopping to think about the risks. And this right here is really the main takeaway. The airwaves, they aren't some infinite thing we can use without consequence. They're a shared public resource, kind of like a highway system or a park. And right now, that resource is under an incredible amount of stress because every single one of our devices wants a piece of it.
So let's just end with this thought. Every single one of your wireless gadgets is like a car on that invisible highway. Its signals are out there, driving alongside everybody else's. So knowing what you know now about the traffic jams they can cause, the question is, are you being a good driver?